I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get some more on here because it's Team Cup month, so time to get serious, right? I know we kind of talked on Sunday, but you know, this is in February for a reason. Like everybody had their big, oh, I'm getting healthy and fit in January. Now it's like, oh, Super Bowl, oh, parties, oh, all this fun stuff. So just remember the power you have in showing up. And so that's why I wanted to do a team call on social media, because I think it's something I know I'm still mastering. I am far from an expert, and I will totally say that from the beginning. Everything that I'm going to share tonight is just stuff I've picked up along the way. So hopefully you guys can implement faster and fail forward faster so that you kind of get through those ones where you're like, oh, this isn't working. But like I said, I traditionally, like just in general on my posts, I don't get that many likes or comments. So don't think that likes or comments equals success, because I'm sure you've seen other coaches and you're like, how do they get 100 likes? I can tell you, doesn't mean they're hitting Success Club. And that's just like, I know from experience. So I've hit Success Club for the past 26 months. So don't take that as a signal that you're doing well or you're not doing well. But I still think it's important for you to master it a little bit, because it is a free tool for you guys to really utilize and connect with people. And just because people aren't liking and commenting, it doesn't mean they're not watching. I cannot tell you how many times people are like, oh, I saw your taco dip Super Bowl video. And I'm like, why didn't you like it? So don't take it personally is the first thing. So I'm going to share my screen because I made some fun slides. All right, where are they at? All right. Can you see it, Beth? I know you're on your phone. Okay, just making sure. I never go on my phone for Zoom, so I'm always like, I don't know how this works. Okay, so how to step up your game. How do you get more likes? How do you get more loves? How do you get more interaction? And that's what I want to throw out first. It's not all about this, but it doesn't mean that you should not focus on this, because this is such a big part of how we connect with people. So I want to ask you guys, would you cancel on your boss? So if tomorrow you got up and you had a big meeting and you had, let's say it was like a review of your past year, would you just like not show up? No, right? So you have to think about that. Nobody's going to be on your couch, in your bed at 9 o'clock at night on a Monday saying, Brianna, you didn't post today. You know, they're not going to say, oh, what did you get done today? Or did you show up today? Did you show people that you're doing this today? Did you share some positivity today? Nobody's going to do that. And so that's what makes this business, it's really simple, but it's hard to do because people don't have that nagging. You don't have that like check in, check out mentality that we do at our regular jobs. So this is like, I hope you guys realize like social media is for free. Like it's free. You don't have to pay for it. And it's kind of like when people don't want to buy Shakeology and you're like, well, you just don't want to invest in your health, right? You guys don't have to pay anything for Facebook. So think of it as your billboard every day. What are you going to put up there for people to drive past to get to the city? So say 1,000 people were driving past your billboard. What would you want to share with them each day? People, especially you guys as new coaches, they are waiting and lurking and watching for you to fail, quit, or give up. And so you have to lead with that mentality every day. Like, not me, not today. I don't care how I feel. I don't know. I can't listen to that voice inside my head. I can't listen to the emotions. I can't let external obstacles of a crazy busy day take away from me sharing, because this is a vital part of your business. And every time you don't show up, people think, that's weird. Beth posted like 5 times last week and I haven't seen her post at all. It shows inconsistency, and it doesn't give people that trust and value. And it's like a subconscious thing that they watch. So it's not something that like you can touch or feel or like measure, but it's something that's a feeling, that's an emotion. And it's your opportunity as new coaches to really grow that audience and find your yous, like I found you guys, you know? So when you kind of think about it that way, it's really your opportunity to show you and how serious you are about changing someone's life. Because the biggest thing I like to check myself with when I like don't feel like posting, or I'm having a horrible day, or whatever, there's life happens, it's not about you sharing on social media. And that's sometimes hard to grasp, because you're like, well, wait a minute, Danielle, I'm supposed to share my story, my workouts, my meal prep. Yeah, you are. But you're supposed to share the story to inspire that one woman on the other side of the screen that felt like shit yesterday, that got reamed out by her boss, that doesn't know how to eat right, and just is sitting on the couch eating chips, watching The Bachelor right now for 3 hours and hasn't worked out. I mean, you guys are here, so you know that there's how many of our friends sitting there doing that, right? Somebody that feels like shit, like Beth, and is in bed and asleep already, but she's here. So it's not about you guys on your social media. It's about speaking to that one person. And so hopefully tonight I can kind of give you some tips and tricks on how to speak to that one person, because I don't want you to speak to everybody. I want you to speak to one person. Okay? So this is kind of a little, and of course I'm recording this, so you guys will get to see this again. This is I just lost my word. An exercise, that's what it is. Exercise that I did with myself about my dream coach. So it's based off of a YouTube video I watched, but you guys can go through here and do this later. Basically, it's so easy to look at those 5 things you guys come up with and you're like, oh, that's so boring. Like, I don't have another meal to share this week, or I don't want to post another workout selfie. You guys got to get deeper than that. Okay? Like super deep. Write everything and anything about yourself. And it doesn't mean that you need to share all of this, and it doesn't mean you need to share all of it right now. But this is literally like me with my heart on the line. Like everything and anything I've ever thought is on here. So who would my dream coach be? What are they currently thinking? They might be working somewhere. Hey, Jess. They might be working somewhere and faking it, and frequently thinks, is this it? Do you know how many friends of ours hate their jobs right now? They're like, oh, it's cool, but so you have to keep those things in the back of your mind when you're posting. They're driven for more passion and purpose for life. They feel stuck, but they have hope, but they're not sure where to go. That's how I feel right now. That's kind of a lot of how our team feels. My history, issues with money, entrepreneur family that's always failed, past yo-yo dieter, thinks less eating equals more results. Doesn't it spur more creative ideas when you guys kind of think this way and kind of break it down, Personality traits. I'm sarcastic. I'm funny. I need to bring that out in my posts. I need to talk like I would to you guys and crack ridiculous, funny jokes that are really not that funny. That's just, you gotta not put on that facade of I'm behind a screen, and really just talk how you would talk to your best friend. I heard that once from another coach. I was like, that's so true. Sometimes you just have to read your post out loud and say, like, would I say this to my friend? And if I'm just like saying this to post it, does that really sound like me? I'm a design lover. I like easier, quicker ways to get more things done, independent, creative, activities and interests. You're probably like, well, I like fitness and food. Well, no, we can get deeper than that. So for me, I'm competitive. I like sports, happy hours. I hate shopping and like Black Friday or things like that. I love to travel. So do you see what I mean? So I would challenge you guys, when I post the link for this, come back to this. I'm sure some of you will have some of these things that you're like, yeah, that's totally me. But there'll be some things in here that, you might change a little bit and think a little bit about your past or what you're thinking right now in your current routine, and make this for yourself. And when you're not sure what to post, you come to name your dream coach, make her up, put her there, make a name for her, and you can share it in the team page. I'd love to see it. But this has really helped me say, like, it's silly that I don't have anything to post, because I do. And it kind of proves to you. All right. So I just thought that was a good thing to share. All right, so it's time to self-evaluate. So I did a little digging on our team's Facebook pages from the past couple weeks, and we're going to kind of go through So this is not to say, oh my gosh, why did you post this? This is not to make you feel bad. This is it's going to help you learn and grow and really reach the people that you guys want to reach. So I hope you guys are okay with that. Know that this business is about failing forward, and none of you failed. Obviously, you all have signed people up. So let's just throw that out the window. And people watched you and think that you're motivational. So this really isn't to just say like, oh, Brianna, you shouldn't have posted that. It's really just to help us all learn and grow and raise the bar for ourselves. You guys know I have a design background, so I'm going to talk a lot about imagery and how to help you kind of like brighten up things and make it more bold and just really be scroll stoppers. That's what we're trying to do here, is get our message across in the crazy social media world. Okay? So don't be embarrassed or anything like that. So here's some quick Facebook tips if you guys don't know these. Number one, your pictures gotta pop, right? They gotta be bold. People are on their phones 24/7. So you wanna think about when I post, what's gonna look best on my mobile device. It's kind of something like we don't really think about, you know? But people, like this is my coach's post right now. Like I can see that's how it's going to look on here. So you kind of want to usually stick to square photos. I like to crop my photos to square so that they can be put on Instagram or Facebook. It's kind of a side tip I didn't really include here. You don't need to write your whole life novel on Facebook. It can be simple, short, sweet. People don't read stuff. Sometimes I do longer posts, but I would say in general, short and sweet work best. I'm going to challenge you guys when you do videos, which you should be, because Facebook loves videos way more than pictures. Put them as public, and here's why. When you look at a video and it's public, you can see how many people viewed your video. So for me, it's a good gauge of like, how many people am I reaching? And so does this time work or does it not work? There's kind of a method to the madness. So if I'm getting 500 views, that's really good, you know? You're going to capture you authentically. I personally like iMovie as an app over Boomerang. And we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit. But I think it keeps it more real, especially for workout videos. That's all I use, iMovie. Keeps it really simple. Get to know your audience. And that kind of goes back to getting into that dream coach training. Midnight posts at the bar don't really align with what we're doing here, right? And I'm not saying to not have fun and not to post with your friends or anything like that, but you want to ask yourself, what can I give today? When do I need to give it? And the biggest question I want you to ask before you post something is, so what? What about this post is like awesome? Who is this going to inspire? Like, am I sharing a story here? Am I evoking emotion? Am I doing something funny? Am I giving great value? Am I helping somebody make their day easier? When you ask yourself, so what, before you hit post, instead of just posting a post, it makes it so much more like, oh, okay, I need to get a little deeper here. So those are kind of my go-to Facebook things that I think about. This is kind of how I think about when I go through posts. All right, so now we're going to go to actual posts. Like I said, don't take any offense, but I thought it was best if we just went through our own content. So Bethany is up, or Beth is up first. So we already talked about this one, so I think it's no surprise to her. The best app for photos I like to use is Pick, Tap, Go, especially for food photos. I mean, guys, look at the difference. Which photo looks more appealing, right? Your eye goes to the bold, bright colors. So her layout is awesome. I might crop it to a square. That would be my only other comment. But just throwing it in Pick, Tap, Go, I put 2 filters on it and it was done. And the cool thing about it, on the top right, you can kind of see your filter options. I would pick like 2 or 3 you love and use them on almost every picture you post. It literally takes 2 seconds, and it makes a difference in the way that people interact with your page, and it kind of keeps all of your pictures the same. This is the designer speaking in me. It's not to add 5 hours for you to edit a photo. It's to add 2 seconds and just make it pop a little bit more. You can see, again, my smoothie bowl not that really that cool in the first photo. The second photo, ooh, that looks good, you know? The other important thing is good lighting. So I usually take my food photos on the weekend all at once and take them in natural lighting. It photographs better. If not, do it on your counter under a good light is another thing. Obviously, my fitness photos in the morning are kind of hard because it's always pitch dark out when I'm taking them. So the top left on the PicTap Go thing, the lights on, that's a good one to kind of lighten up your photo, that filter. The cool thing is also you can adjust how high you want each filter on. So like I could take it to 50% so it's not like blaring, pale, ghostly in your face. So yeah, I would stick to no more than 3 filters. Those are my favorite ones. Lights on. It's supposed to be contrast, not contract. Oops. Warm it up and crispity, I think is the one. So again, Beth did a great job on like short and sweet on this post. I think if you just add the little pop, looks way more yummier, especially with food. Cool? It's not that harsh yet, right? All right. So some more familiar faces on here. Darn, gotcha. So no longer are we going to do extra links or shares. And here's why, guys. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but the quote is great. I would love if Jess took that and put it on a selfie in the small corner, or if she put it in the text and she started her post off that way. But all 4 of us could go find that image and post it today. So how does that make you unique from the 400,000 other coaches, right? So all of my content you're going to see me post, and I hope you guys will too, is my unique photos, because I want to uniquely capture my audience with me, right? And Pinterest images, while the quotes are great, and I'm going to share with you how I use Pinterest as a tool, I personally don't see as much interaction on those kind of posts. And like I said, what's going to make you stand out? The text was awesome. One other thing I didn't share in these slides is sometimes when I share a lot of text, I like to do a space and then a period and then another space. I don't know if you guys noticed that on my posts, but it just spreads the text out into shorter segments, because you have to remember people's attention span is like this. So what's going to stop them to read that, right? So if you can break it up into small little chunks, it makes it easier. So that's little Jess's. I feel like you guys are on the hot seat or something. The second one, Amanda did a post. So I never share videos from Instagram because I hate this little thing at the bottom where it says Instagram video by Amanda Marie. It just doesn't look that nice. Again, this is the designer in me. I take any of my content and I post it directly to Facebook or directly to Instagram. So it's just like clean, crisp, nothing else there. The other thing is you don't need to do hashtags on Facebook, guys. It's not necessary. There's no reason for it. Hashtags are really only needed on Instagram, and we'll get into that later. But for me, it kind of takes away from the message. So I would advise against it just from the way that it looks. And from Amanda's, I think she could share a little bit more. Share the recipe. Ask people a question at the end to get comments. Ask for a secret ingredient. You got to kind of be creative. And how can I give people what they need, but also have them give me what I need, and create that interaction with them. So the other 2 on the right, Brianna, you got 2 likes, right? And I know your posts are way better than that. So while this is great, I would have gone to the link here, found 2 tips I loved and share them, and then put a picture of you instead of sharing a link to something else. Because again, you're building your brand of Brianna, Beth, and Jess. You're not building Apple News. Same thing with the Luke Bryan thing. Okay, I love Emily, but this is like a screenshot of her phone. So it's kind of like distracting. And how about a picture of you like this with Luke Bryan on the bottom, or something cool where it's you. It could be a throwback picture of you at a concert before. That's cool too. But I just, like I said, I don't do screenshots of things because it's not me. It's somebody else's marketing content. And you just got to get a little bit more creative. So you want to be sharing you, your story, your day, the good, bad, and ugly. Don't be afraid to share your crazy laundry or your kid spits up and you spilled your Shakeology all over the ground. Share those funny things too, because that's real life. But don't hide behind the quotes, links, and Pinterest. You guys are beautiful and you just share yourselves. Any questions so far? I know this is a lot of me talking. It's going to be a lot of content. So, all right, Beth and Brianna. Guys, this is good that you guys are on the call because it's like you guys just have been posting a lot, so it gives me a lot to talk about. All right, so things I would say for these. Too much on one picture. The puppies get so many likes, but just share the picture of the puppy or like overlay on word swag a little bit of fun stuff. I know this is from Snapchat and their Snapchat's awesome for that, but Facebook is a little bit different. So we want to just keep it simple. I would say the simpler, the better with Facebook. Really just allow your pictures to speak, to pop. The other thing with Shakeology, guys, we love Shakeology. We love 21 Day Fix. We love Autumn. But we're not going to do videos of Shakeology bags anymore because you guys are better than that. I suggest going to Marshall's this weekend, picking out some fun cups, spend $20, find some fun cups that you like to take pictures with your Shakeology. A little sense of your style. And it's a tax write-off, so you can keep the receipt because it's part of your business. And it just gives some more flair than your box. It just steps the game up a little bit. Same thing with plates. I look out for fun plates all the time. So I have like one random plates in my cabinets, but I love how they photograph. And so I like bold colors. So I'll think about that. Like, what do I make a lot and how can I show this? So none of these are bad. It's just raising the bar a little bit and keeping it simpler so you guys don't have to try so hard. Cool? And the hashtags. You guys know how I feel about that. Okay, Facebook video. This is like, you guys should be doing this every day with your workout, in my opinion. Video is hands down what Facebook loves more than photos. So if you notice on my page, every morning I do my workout and I share it. It's accountability for me. And usually I go live in the afternoon. If you haven't gone live yet, you need to. It allows you to connect with your audience. It allows you to share your passion. It allows you to just speak freely about your experience. It's scary the first time, but once you do it, it's like no biggie, right, Brianna? So let's talk about these. Shannon's video on the left. While it's great, the light is super blaring in your eyes, right? You look at that and it's kind of like, oh, I can't really see what she's doing. I like to put, so like if I were, I can't see myself, this is weird in Zoom. So if I were filming here, I would set up my camera and have the light onto my face. So you would switch it around in Shannon's position so that the light's not glaring into your phone camera. It makes it brighter on you and less on the window. Just a little tip. Brianna's video was awesome. It was great. She filmed it. You guys want to hold your phone like this when you film videos. Because if you look all the way to the right on Brittany's, you get those black lines if you film it vertically. Just a little quick tip. All these movies except for Shannon were in iMovie. So it's really simple. You can put a quote over top of it from Pinterest that you get and you like that inspires you that day. I like to keep the text pretty simple, which all of these did pretty well, I thought. And they all got some really good engagement. And if you put these public, you can see the views on them as well. Shannon uses Pick, Play, Post. I don't really like the app because it puts the logo in the bottom right. I like things that are clean, so iMovie has worked best for me. Just make sure you film it horizontally. You guys have any questions about those? Like overloaded? All right, so we kind of talked about this. How the heck do I get engagement, right? Number one, clear, bold pictures. Every single one of these is pretty bold and bright, and they were awesome posts. You have to celebrate everything. If you have a non-scale victory, you better be posting that. If you bought a house, you better be posting it when you're allowed to. If your daughter did something new that she has never done before, you got to share that. People love to celebrate alongside of you. So like Jess's coming out post, you got a lot of engagement on that because it was exciting, right? So what can you celebrate throughout the week? Celebrate the health bet being over and sharing what happened there and how you guys, what you did over the past month. Don't be afraid to like shout yourself out. Amy shouted out her mom's boyfriend and how much they've been in her family, like such a positive force. Do that. Celebrate your family and your spouse and your kids to the moon and back, because people love family stuff. Brianna's was cute with the cheat meals. She gave tips. That's a great way to get engagement. People love getting value. And then the vulnerable stuff, right? The stuff that nobody really likes to talk about. So Claire shared about her roots, which nobody wants to talk about gray hair in their 20s. And that was super vulnerable for her to share. But as you guys get deeper into PD, you're not going to care as much what people think because you're authentically you and you're, what is it, imperfectly, perfectly you, or whatever the quote is. So I was super proud that she shared that because I know that there's other people out there that probably can relate to that. Julie down here shared her pooch after her C-section and how hard that was, but she asked a question at the end to moms about it. So I'm sure Jess is like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. But how many moms, do you know how many people commented on that? 70. Okay. That's how you build engagement. You ask questions, ask people for their opinions. I wouldn't really get political on your posts. That's just me. But be honest and vulnerable, share, ask, like when I go shopping, if I'm choosing or like want to choose between something, that's a go-to. That's a given I'm going to get opinions on. Maybe it's you're dressing up for date night. What should I wear? Those things sprinkled out throughout the week, you want to be asking questions on your page because it builds engagement and it builds more eyes on your posts. Claire did another one like celebrating her husband's birthday. It was simple, but it shows that you're not a robot. You're not a Beachbody robot. You're not a fitness and foodie robot. And a great way to check yourself on this, ask somebody on the team, say, hey, I'm not sure what to post tonight. Can you like look at my page and see what you think? I literally do this with Noelle almost every day because I'm like, oh, I don't know what to post today. Like I still go through this. So I want you guys to know it's going to still be a process and you're going to have to continuously adjust and try new things and, swerve the sails and do something totally outside your comfort zone. But that's the beautiful part of social media. Like it's free and you can say whatever you want. So it's kind of cool. Do you guys have any questions about these? Keep going. All right, so these are kind of my best posts in the past couple months, just to give you guys some more ideas. So again, which outfit should I wear tomorrow? I did that on a Sunday afternoon to go to work. I got really vulnerable and shared about a loss I had in my life with my great aunt. Share the good, bad, and ugly. Don't just share, I'm so happy and rainbows and butterflies out my butt. Like, that's not real life. So you guys got to share that too. After every challenge group, I usually share, if they let me, transformations. Obviously, these were all coaches, so they had already shared them publicly. Why you guys are all going to be in NOLA? Because we're going to take a shit ton of pictures together that you're going to use the whole entire year. Okay. So I hope you're ready for my selfies. Challenges of the week. Once you guys get some of those built up, I have been trying to do on once a week. It lets their friends see what they're doing and helps you convert them to a coach. Just a little side note. That's why I do it every week. So somebody I'm like, ooh, they'd be a great coach. They're going up on my public page. I don't ask for their permission. I just shout them out because everybody loves to be recognized, in my opinion. So, of course, my own transformation, you have to continuously show how you're improving in different ways. It doesn't have to always be a sports bra and shorts kind of thing. It can be a non-scale victory. It can be these jeans fit, whatever. Get creative with it. And then, of course, I share me on rooftops in a hard hat because that's part of my life too. So these are kind of posts that do well for me, and I try to think about them when I'm not sure what to post. The cool thing is, since I've been to so many events, and as you guys will go to more, like Super Saturday coming up in April, you can go take pictures and show people how serious you are about coaching, because when they see it's more than just you, it becomes this whole different thing in their mind, and they want to know more about it, because people don't really know the community that we have until you're kind of in it. I mean, think about it. Did you guys really know until you got into a group? No, because I'm constantly trying hard to show it without showing it, right? So great reason to get to as many events as you can. All right, so let's talk Instagram real quickly. Again, we kind of talked about this on our Team Cup call, but I personally believe you should master one social media platform and maybe dabble on the side in another, because it can get overwhelming. And I want you guys to focus on one, be a savage with it, like go all in with it, try a million things with it, and really get to know your audience. But some things that have been working well for me on Instagram is, again, Instagram is about keeping the same pictures, the same brand kind of thing. So you can see mine are all bold colors, like dark contrast, lights on kind of thing, because I like that. We talked about the story briefly. So that's up here. You click your little camera and you basically treat it like Snapchat. And then you can see who looked at your picture, which is kind of cool because it creates a list for you. So, these are just some quick tips, getting the right crop. All Instagram photos have to be square to show nicely. So that's why I kind of recommend the square. And then you can do hashtags here. So you can actually do 30 hashtags in the comment of your image. So I actually do another comment and I'll write it up in my notes section first. This is something I'm still playing with. I don't really understand it totally still, but it's mainly about bold, bright images, not so much text and things like that. Of course, I kind of use the same posts that I do on Facebook here, but it's more about your picture story. So those are just kind of my quick tips. I mostly like the Instagram story to kind of track that. All right, so after all this, what the heck do I do now? Where do I go from here, right? So what I want you guys to do is, number one, go self-evaluate. So Beth, I just happened to pull yours, sorry. It's not that it's bad. So what you can do is you can go to your Facebook and you click photos. Can you guys see my cursor? Okay, you click photos and then you're gonna click Beth's photos or Brianna's photos, whatever. And you can see all your photos you've posted the past 16. And I want you to look at this every 3 days, because this is a good way for you to track, am I giving enough variety? Am I posting 5 food photos in a row? Am I showing myself? Am I showing too much of myself? It just allows you to look at your 5 things and say, am I truly posting about them? So like if you go to mine, I try to spread this out pretty well. Family, food, celebration, coaches and celebrations with that, transformations, food, friends, things like that. So I really try to spread out my own journey that way. I wanted to give you guys 3 coaches that I love following. You may not, but I just threw them out there because they're people that inspire me. You can kind of see how I'm trying to emulate in my own way their kind of imagery style, because they're very bright and bold. So Ashley Molstead is curvy girl, very honest about it. I don't really like the purple hair currently, Sorry, but I do like the way that she shares her journey, and she's very real and authentic. Angie Belmar was in the top 10 this past year, came out of nowhere. She actually is a retired architect, so I kind of relate to her on that. And Chelsea Pearson is just great at graphics, and I just love her. So doesn't mean you have to follow them, but I just wanted to give you guys 3 examples of like, you can see the variety in what they share. They're not just sharing, you know, obviously they share a lot of selfies, but in different ways. So I wanted to give you guys some ideas. Number 2, take a lot of pics when you're looking good, guys. This is what my camera literally looks like. If somebody were to go into my photos, they'd probably be like, you are crazy. But I literally just take a million pictures whenever I'm feeling in a good mood. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. If you haven't upgraded to the maximum storage on your phone, I probably would, because you're going to need it. But post with your 5 in mind and find an inspirational account to follow. And it doesn't have to be a Beachbody coach. Maybe there's an actress you love, follow her and look at what she's sharing. That's a great way to kind of get yourself inspired. But stock up those selfies for sure, because they come in handy when, like tomorrow morning, I know I teach body pump at 6 a.m. So I have to have something ready to go to post at 7. I don't have time to take selfies post body pump, you know? So don't feel like you have to take them in real time. Number 3, use your resources. So I actually make a secret Pinterest board and I put inspiring quotes on there. So when I'm not feeling motivated or creative, I go on there and I steal a quote, because pretty much every morning I post a workout with a quote. And then kind of elaborate on how that relates to my life at the moment. It's helped me a lot in just getting motivated and getting, you know, creative. The other thing is personal development. That gives me a lot of my content. You guys know I've shared, like, I try to do as much PD as I can per day. So open up the notes section and write down quotes you like from your PD, because even though you might not use them today or tomorrow, it might inspire you in 5 days when you have nothing to post. And then the third thing is objections. I keep a list of those. I don't have one right now, but I do have a few in my head. And those are kind of things I post about. So like I went live about the cost of Shakeology this weekend because I was getting an objection about it. If I'm going to hear it 5 times, I'm going to talk about it. So you kind of just have to be bold and know that it's connecting you with the right person, and who cares about the 5 people that think you're annoying, because there's going to be people like that when you start sharing more and more of your life, but there's going to be also 50 people that love what you post every day. So you have to kind of remember that. When I get haters, I know that I'm doing a good job. Like, I celebrate that because that means I'm sharing enough of my story. So ask yourself, over the next week, I want you to kind of take some of these tips, apply them, don't get overwhelmed. And then next weekend, go back and look at your post from this past week and look, okay, when do I get the most interaction? When am I getting the most likes and comments or questions? And just ask yourself what inspires you each day and share from that. It really starts small: Motivational Monday, Tasty Tuesday, Workout Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, whatever. But as you guys get deeper into PD and deeper into more conversations with people, posting is going to be a lot easier for you. I find when I'm doing the work, posting is like no big deal for me because I always have something to talk about, right? So last slide, no matter what, show the F up. I kept it clean. But seriously, I don't care how bad a day you had. I don't care what excuses you have. The difference between somebody that's successful in this business and not successful is showing up. And I will tell you, most of the people on our team, there's a reason there's only 3 of you right now, right? Because you guys are willing to learn and grow and apply this knowledge, and people notice when you show up or you don't show up. So you can't expect to succeed. I love this quote. You can't expect to succeed if you only put in work on the days you feel like it. And you guys know this business is work, but I also know you guys are all going to New Orleans. How cool would it be to take this stuff and actually do the work and get better at it a little bit each day, post every day, go live every week, just do it and stop thinking about it, and imagine where you'll be in 6 months. Damn proud, right? Sorry, Jess. But seriously, it's really just doing it. Stop thinking about it and start doing it. I heard one of the top coaches, she said, the worst thing a new coach can do is think. Right? It's so true. When you think, you don't take action. You think too much about it. You spend 20 minutes on a post that should have taken 2, right? I know we're all guilty of this because I've done it too. The things that build your business are, of course, your social media backs up, but the things that build your business is relationships. And just remember that. So yes, social media is so important to back up what you're doing behind the scenes. But if you're not sending messages, you're not building your business. So the way that I've learned all this stuff, guys, is becoming a master on YouTube, honestly. I just look up videos from other coaches and listen to them. And then I try things, and I'm still falling on my face, and I'm still flailing around, and I'm still not great at it. But I also know that you guys are here for a reason, and you saw something that inspired you. And so that's who you're trying to reach. Don't let your fear of posting on Facebook, and if you feel bad about it, say it out loud 5 times, and then you're going to look at yourself and say, I'm so dumb. Like, I'm so scared about going live. I'm so scared about going live. Okay, really? So what questions do you guys have? That's kind of the end of my content. Was this helpful? What did you learn? Anything?
This was super helpful for me. I think my biggest thing right now is just kind of, I think the quote at the end kind of summed it up. It's like, I feel like right now I can still come up with a million excuses as to like why I'm so busy and why I don't have time to post and justify it at the end of the day. But it's like, I can't expect to see results if I'm not showing up every day.
Yep. And I'll tell you, some days are hard, right? But if it takes 5 minutes before bed and you write your post for the morning before you go to sleep, do it. Whatever works for you. Sometimes just knowing it's off the list before you even get up the next day is like, it's the weight off your shoulders.
That's a great tip, actually, because that's my biggest problem is like those prime times. I'm usually super busy. At like, the 7 to 9, super busy. And then when I'm coming home, making dinner, getting the baby ready for bed, I don't think about it. So
open up your notes section in your phone and keep track of some of those quotes, or, make your Pinterest board and pull it up before you go to sleep, or whenever you have 5 minutes to yourself, which I know is probably rare, but maybe those few minutes before you go to sleep, like ask Jeremy, hey, I need 5 minutes of silence. Can you just be quiet and let me do my thing? Right? Was this helpful, Beth?
Yeah, definitely. Quick question.
Yeah.
Just how do you write over top of pictures? What program or whatever are you using?
Oh, okay. So I love Word Swag. That is what I use. But again, I'll caution you that less is more, always with social media. Don't feel like you have to cover your whole photo or anything like that. Something you gotta kind of trial and error. But I do use it occasionally. It also has good backgrounds. Like in our challenge group, every time I post check your inbox, it's from Word Swag. The other one is Rana Designs. I'll type it for you. It's RHONNA. Sometimes when I do recognition posts, I'll do it in there. Since you guys are going to have amazing coaches real soon, right? I think the biggest thing with social media is you're always going to be learning about it. It's always going to be something that you have to just try new things. The biggest thing with social media, like your business, is consistency. So don't skip a day, because it's kind of I'm trying to think of a good analogy. It's running up the escalator or something. When you're going up a few steps and it keeps going down, if you stop walking up the steps, your engagement keeps going down. But if you're going up against the escalator, you're continuously progressing, even though it's I don't know, that's a bad analogy, but you know what I mean? Like you're building that growth, and every time you don't show up once a day at least, which I really think you guys could do twice a day because it's Team Cup month, you're kind of losing that momentum. So when I think about it that way, and I think about the one girl who needs to see my post each day that I just don't know they're watching, then it's selfish of me not to show up. What else you guys got? Any other questions? Doesn't have to be social media related. Nothing? We're feeling good? Shout out to Jess for getting Team Cup points on the board. Rocking it. So Beth's going to hit Emerald before Thursday, and we're all going to help one more person before Thursday, because that means you'll get $70 in your paycheck next Thursday. When you think about it like that, send your messages. All right, guys, thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. Hopefully this was helpful, and I can't wait to see your beautiful posts from now on, right?
Thanks, Danielle.
Of course, guys. See you later.
See ya.